How to start wholesaling real estate with just $1,000. Did you know that I literally have paid and made over $30,000 on just one wholesale deal? Yes, when I started real estate in my parents' basement, I was broke, bankrupt, bad credit, no money, no job, and I learned how to wholesale real estate right from my parents' basement, and I was able to make enough money to get my sorry butt out of that basement and even made $17,000 on my first wholesale deal. In this video, I'm gonna share with you exactly how I got that done and how my students today are doing even better than I did. Let's go.
Noel. Yeah, she can fix that. If you gotta get it done, no, you need to do it better. Well, she can fix that. Yeah, she can fix that. Investment to get back, trying to get a big stack. She can fix that. Let's fix that.
I'm gonna share with you a simple 3-step process on how to wholesale real estate. I'm gonna share with you 5 quick and easy ways that you can find properties in really nice neighborhoods. And I'm gonna share with you my super secret on how you can wholesale real estate with less than $500 if that's your budget. So what is wholesaling? Wholesaling is simply finding people that want to sell you a property without using a real estate agent, and then taking that contract that you get with the seller and flipping it to someone else, either by selling them that contract or assigning them that contract for a fee. Like I said, I started wholesaling real estate in 2008, 2009 when I was in my parents' basement after losing everything. I had started investing in real estate in 2002 and 2003, but I had no idea what I was doing. I used a real estate agent and I just started flipping houses. Well, when the crash happened in 2008, I lost everything, and I had all of these fix and flips that I was doing where I lost all of my money and they ended up getting foreclosed on. Well, when I moved back to my parents' basement, I decided to learn real estate the right way, and I got me a coach that taught me a concept that changed my life. He taught me wholesaling, and wholesaling is really what I use to start doing my fix and flips and even get rental properties in the future. But I'll tell you that part in a minute. Wholesaling is where I would put out bandit signs and I would send out letters and I would call people that were in the same situation that I had been in. I started with people that were in pre-foreclosure, people that were behind on their mortgage payments, but they had not fully gone through the foreclosure process where the bank had taken the house back. My coach taught me that it was public records when someone went into the foreclosure process. They would get something called a notice of default, and that was public records. Well, I was then able to search out and buy lists of people that had notice of defaults, and I was able to send them letters saying, hey, we buy houses and I'm tied to a network of investors and we can help buy your homes for cash. Well, I got on the phone, I would talk to those sellers, and I got people to give me a contract on their home, and in many cases, I would get contracts on the home for way less than the market value because they were facing foreclosure and they really just wanted to get from under the house. Well, once I got those properties under contract, I then took those contracts to my network, my coaches and all of his network of investors, and I would sell those contracts for like $5,000 each. Well, it was an amazing way for me to make money and get myself out of my parents' basement and fix my credit all in the same process. First things first, if you want more money for your business, you're gonna need a business checking account. North One offers business checking accounts that you can get set up in less than 3 minutes, and you can do it all online. All you do, you open up your browser. You're gonna type in North One, very simple. You're going to then log in and register an account. Opening a new account. As you can see, I'm clicking here. I'm showing you different ways on how you can easily open a new account for yourself and for your business. Your business is going to have to be registered with your state, your Secretary of State, because you actually need a business. Once you have your account all set up, you will see that having a business checking account with North One is amazing and simple. You can actually integrate all of your different merchant processing accounts. For example, if you have PayPal or Stripe, you can integrate that into the account, and those deposits will go directly into your North One account, and then you will not only have statements from your merchant processor like PayPal, Square, or Stripe, you'll also have business checking account statements from North One that you can just pull down digitally. You can just download them, create a PDF of them, and now you have all of your statements in one place. Check out the link below at North One and get your business checking account today. This way you can use your business checking account statements, and many lenders will lend to you with just that information. Get your business checking account today with North One and get this debit card that you can use anywhere in the United States absolutely free. Now back to this video. I realized that I could make money doing this, and I was helping people avoid foreclosure just like I had been through. Once I mastered doing this with pre-foreclosures, I then started doing this with bankruptcies, foreclosures, probates, relocations, and all different types of property problems, and start wholesaling real estate and making even more money per deal than I did when I first started. So it was an amazing way for me to learn wholesaling. So let me tell you the whole process so that you can do the same thing today. Step 1 to wholesaling properties: finding people with property problems. Like I said, when I first got started, I used pre-foreclosures because I had experience with foreclosure, and I could clearly explain to people what happened in the foreclosure process and let them know they did not want to go through what I had been through. They did not want the sheriff coming to their house and throwing all of their stuff outside on the lawn and being embarrassed by all of the neighbors, and even have your kids cry and scream while you were being tossed out on the street. You could actually help people with wholesaling because I was able to explain to them that we would take over those mortgage payments, or this person would buy their home for cash and they did not have to go through the foreclosure process, and in many cases they would fix their credit without ever having to go through any of that. It was an amazing thing, and I really was helping people, and I felt good because I was saving people from the embarrassment that I had been through. Finding people with property problems is not difficult at all. Like I said, when someone is in the foreclosure process, for example, they will get a notice of default, and you can search through public records, and this is absolutely free to put together a list of people and then start sending them letters or calling them on the phone. Additionally, you can just buy a list of people that are in foreclosure if you have the money. And in many cases, I was able to buy a list for like $100 for 100 names and send them letters. If I sent out 100 letters, I would easily get sellers to call me on the phone and ask, hey, how do you buy homes for cash? And I would explain it to them and get those properties under contract. So this is not a difficult process at all. You really need to just think about what type of financial distress are people in. Is it foreclosures? Is it divorce? Is it bankruptcy? Those are 3 really easy ways to find people that are having property problems and probably want to get from under that mortgage, but they probably have a nice house that you can wholesale or even make money off of. Whoa, like I said, I used to use bandit signs and send out letters. What are some other ways that you can think of that you can get people to call you on the phone about their property problems? Comment below and let's have a conversation. I have lots of great ideas, and I'm sure you have some great ones too. Step 2. Talking to sellers. Now that you have found people with property problems and they're calling you on the phone, the next step is to get them under contract. This part is actually really easy, and once you do it a couple of times, it gets easier and easier. When you first start, you're probably gonna stumble and stutter and you're gonna be really nervous. It's totally okay. You're gonna be talking to them on the phone so they can't see your face and they probably can't see the sweat under your arms. All you need to do is give them the script, and in fact, I'll give you a script absolutely free. Just go to 𝗏𝑒𝑙𝑠freegift.com and get my script where I teach you how to talk to sellers. You literally just explain to them that you're a company, you're looking to buy houses, and you can help them in their situation. You're very positive that you can help them, and you let them know that you can close without using a realtor, without them having to pay closing costs, and without them having to fix the property. There's so many benefits to a seller. They can get from under the financial distress that they're having, and they don't have to spend any money to do it. You can find tons of people, and you can help so many people in the process. I love helping sellers, and you will too. Step 3. Sell those contracts to investors. Once you talk to the sellers and you get those properties under contract, the last step is to take those contracts and get them sold for a fee. Like I said, the point of wholesaling is to either sell the contract or assign it to someone else for a fee. You can easily get this done. And again, I give you all of the paperwork to do this absolutely free. Just go to 𝗏𝑒𝑙𝑠freegift.com and you can get my documents, and I can use those in all of the states. That's my free gift to you. I've already paid my attorneys for them, and now you can have them absolutely free. With those contracts, you will easily just take them to different investor groups. Like I said, I had a coach, so we used to have monthly meetings, and I could take my contracts and my properties to those investors. Now, again, you're not selling contracts, you're selling a property. So you don't say, hey, I have this contract that I want to sell you. You tell them about the property. Hey, I have a 3-bedroom, 1-bath in XYZ city. It's worth this amount, and I have it under contract for this amount, so that is this amount of equity. For example, I would say I have this 3-bedroom, 2-bath in Atlanta. It's priced at $150,000 is its market value, and I have it under contract for $100,000. That's $50,000 of equity, and I've already been by the property, and it doesn't need very much repairs, maybe just $5,000 for some paint and some carpeting. Well, my investor would look at that deal and be like, wow, I can make $45,000 off this property, or I could rent it out for $1,500 per month. They would easily give me $5,000. I would assign that contract to them, and boom, I was done with the deal, and I made $5,000 in just a few days. That's how wholesaling works, and you can get this done for, again, less than $500 or even with a budget of $1,000. Most of the money that you spent was really just marketing your business, sending out letters, or putting out bandit signs and walking around with things that market what you do, with shirts like this that say I buy houses. You can get a bunch of these shirts for like 20 bucks. In fact, I even have a widget below where I sell these shirts for you at a discount. Again, wholesaling properties is super easy. You really just have to have the courage to go out there and do it and want to make a lot of money, just like I did. I have created an entire training where I teach you my exact formula to investing in real estate without using your credit or using very much money. Go to noellsfreetraining.com and get this full training. It teaches you not only wholesaling and finding people with property problems, I go into detail, and it's a full training. Again, noellsfreetraining.com. That's Noelle, Noelle with an S, noellsfreetraining.com, and get your full training on how to invest in real estate without using your credit or much money. I just want to make sure that you have all of the resources, all of the tools, and all of the knowledge that you need to be successful. This is Noelle. To your success.